computer has virus.
Hello, welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Fresh back from a fun weekend with our Gig Economy picnic and our amazing friends. Thank you guys so much for joining the show. This is episode 214. We're going to talk about Amazon Flex is cracking down on fake IDs and our Uber and Lyft scamming drivers. Talk a little bit about that. I know it's kind of been old news, but finally had some time to pull a little bit of that video, so we'll talk about that. How's it going, Larry?
It's going well. I'm recovered, I think, from the weekend.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful weekend. It was great to see everybody. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year, getting to see all my gig friends from around the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time. And if you didn't come, you missed out. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We have decided that Faith will be there next year.
Yeah.
She doesn't have no choice.
No. I think we're going to Bowling Green next year. I think we're
Bring it on.
I know. I think we're gonna change it up a little bit. Grand Rapids has been the mecca for a while, and now that we have one of our main hosts in a different state, it would be good for me to travel to and get out of this fucking town.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, if things get too slow here in Bowling Green, we can always run down to Nash Vegas.
Oh, there you go. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
That sounds like trouble, doesn't it?
As long as I got
the only thing, we can't play the Rocket game here.
Oh shit! Can you play it in Nashville or
no?
You can't play it in Tennessee either.
I don't think so. I'll try.
Oh no.
John, the only places that John knows is West Virginia and Michigan. I don't know if they've got a list on somehow you can find that out.
Do you think we could get a VPN and do it?
Nope, they won't. Tried it. Nope. It does not work.
That's crazy.
They know you're using a VPN. They will shut you. They will not let you in.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yep.
So, wow, that's interesting. Anything gig economy related as far as the show, go to gigeconomyshow.com. If you would like to support us on Patreon, which we would love, go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. There you get an extra podcast a month, an exclusive merch t-shirt made by yours truly, and then the $10 tier gets you ad-free episodes, so that you don't have to waste your time. You've already supported us financially, so we don't really need you to hear those ads because you're already giving us money. So I want to
say those t-shirts you're making are sweet. Thank you. Those are nice.
Thank you. Our Patreon members: Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Steve from Colorado, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Frank from Philly, Jamie from Tennessee, Tom from Chicago, Jim from Connecticut, Miguel from Grand Rapids, and Linda from Tampa. So thank you so much for supporting us. It really does mean a lot. Larry, let's talk about the Telegram group. We got a little chatty this weekend. We had a couple of different chats going on.
Yeah, we did have a couple of different chats going on. Yeah, so the Telegram group, it's a messaging app. You can send text messages, but you can also send voice messages. So if you're out doing gig work, you're driving, it's not real safe to be typing on the phone, but it's much easier to talk into the phone and send messages. You get on there. We talk about all things gig related, but we also talk about just what's going on in our life. Mm-hmm. We vent to each other. We tell each other new ideas that we're going to make $1 million off of, and verbal trademark things, and just have all sorts of fun. But you get to know people. And so once you get to know them, and then you want to come to the picnic and meet them in person. And that's how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Stories from the road. Not much. Obviously, Larry was up in Grand Rapids this weekend, so not a lot of driving, and he flew up here, so not a lot of sightseeing on the way up. No car accidents to speak of.
No, nothing like that. And didn't do any driving when I got back either, because I went to St. Louis, picked up my son. He had surgery, and then we brought him and his cat back here. I need to go thoroughly clean out my car tomorrow before Thirsty Thursday, because there's cat hair all over my car. His cat Garfield is great. But we had him in a cardboard cat carrier.
Yeah.
And because the metal ones, the ones with the real sturdy ones, he will hurt himself trying to chew out of it. But that's because he went to the shelter because these people saw him on their property. I guess he was a stray at one point. They captured him in a trap, and they just left him there for 2 days. And he tried to chew his way out. His mouth was all torn to bits when we got him, or when my son got him. So anyway, best cat in the world. It's just like a dog. Just he will curl up with. So anyway, we had to go get my son's prescriptions before we left St. Louis. It took us 45 minutes at Walgreens. I was in Walgreens for 45 minutes waiting for the prescription. And when I get back out, Garfield had managed to get out of the cardboard cat carrier.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but it was much better because when he's in the carrier, he is a very vocal cat. He will meow every 3 seconds for the first 2 hours.
Oh, just 2 hours?
Yeah, the first 2 hours. And then he usually will go to sleep until we hit a bump or something.
Yeah.
But this time he just pretty much rode in the seat beside me. And maybe about a third of the time he climbed back in the back seat and sat on my son's lap. He was laid down with his leg propped up. But no, not meowing at all. So we've learned we're not going to put him in the cat carrier. It's much easier.
Yeah, the only caveat to that is to make sure when you get out to go to the bathroom or something, it doesn't bolt.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. You do have to be careful with that for sure.
What's the tip of getting cat hair out? I mean, you can vacuum it, but sometimes you need one of those rollers.
I mean, I'm gonna take it and vacuum it out, but then also just I've got leather wipes for my seats and the
that's right.
Wipes.
You got leather. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it helps for sure.
Very cool.
But yeah, he's a really cool cat. His name's Garfield. I call him Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Be respectful to the elder.
Yep. How's Mr. G doing?
For me, I've been doing some flex this week. Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, I didn't do anything the weekend, but I went out and did some flex after work, and realizing that makes it a long day when you get done with driving bus and then hop in the car. But no, there've been some good routes and trying to bank a little money here and there. So, but yeah, nothing really stories or anything. I know it's busy around here. The rates have seemed to go up a little bit, so that's really good. That kind of helps.
Better bank some money for those flights.
Oh God, yeah! Don't even tell me about it. I already talked to Megan. I was like, nah, we're gonna vacation in the summer, or we're gonna do what we talked about over the weekend with the cards. I broached that subject, but anyways, so yeah, gig economy in the news. This came out a couple weeks ago. We briefly talked about it. It's a video of Sergio and a bunch of different drivers. It's not a gig app that it was uploaded to. It's like a union thing or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I clipped about 2.5 minutes in about it, and basically it's about Uber stealing from drivers or giving us different prices for the same ride. I will talk to you in a second, Josh, after we play this video. All right, here we go.
He's getting paid $1 more if he goes there, according to the map, and nobody else is. Nobody else is seeing that dollar surge.
We found that Uber offered the same rides 46 times to multiple drivers. 63% of the time, one of the drivers was offered a bit less money for the exact same ride.
They want to make few pennies difference, and few pennies on 2.7 billion trips a quarter, which is from the last earnings report, is millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Lyft was even worse. The price gap wasn't just a little off, it was a lot off. We saw differences of up to $3 to $4 after bonuses. And drivers don't know why one person gets a bonus and another doesn't.
Well, that adds up like on 30 trips at $10 a day. That's $300 a month. Why should I get paid less, $300 a month, than the other guy?
I contacted Uber and Lyft to see how they would calculate fares. Lyft, well, they never responded. Uber directed me to a blog post. When I explained the experiment's results, they replied by copying and pasting a portion of that same blog post. The section outlines different reasons drivers could see different fares. But we controlled for everything that we could. We called the drivers to the same space, placed their phones inches apart, had drivers monitoring incoming promotions, and constantly refreshing their screen. The only thing we didn't account for was any secret test Uber could have been running at the time, which we couldn't because the fare algorithm is secret, and the test is secret. There's a whole lot of questions here, like mainly, is this legal? And there's no laws against algorithmic wage discrimination. That article I mentioned at the start suggests that opaque algorithms can easily facilitate violations of anti-discrimination laws. Uber denies this, but their own research reveals a glaring disparity. Women drivers earn 7% less than men, potentially due to algorithmic wage setting. But there's an argument that the entire business model is illegal.
From our perspective, Uber's and Lyft's business model is based on control without responsibility.
Great editing there, Jason. Yeah. So, what's your first thought on this? As far as, do you think it is something that they do? I mean, if you saw kind of the screenshot or the video plan, some of them were like just pennies different. So that's why I kind of poo-pooed it. But if Lyft's is so far off, that seems weird.
And I mean, and we think about it, pennies, we automatically think, that's no big deal. But when you do think about how many rides that Uber has in a year, if they can make 3 pennies more off of every one of those rides, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it does add up. But the problem is we won't ever know that. So they did this study, right? So we don't ever know. But do you really feel like, excuse me, drinking some Dr. Pepper, do you really feel like it's illegal what they're doing? Or doesn't a business have the ability to kind of do whatever they want? You know what I mean? As long as it's not like gouging like an insane amount. But
yeah, I don't know about the legality part of it. I haven't thought that much about that part of it. We just know that we feel that's just, they shouldn't be doing it. If you're doing the same thing, you should be making the same. But we all know that they've stated that many times before, that people will get different offers for different reasons. We all know that people get vastly different bonus offers around the country. I mean, way different. I don't know why we think it's going to be that much different with rides as well.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just pennies and nickels, I mean, that to me, we talked about like maybe the GPS isn't. I mean, yeah, the phones are right there, but
but there's drift. We all
there's
know
drift, and phones are different, and in cell services, they didn't talk about that either. Yeah, they all could be on the watch.
Cell services.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a whole different thing. I mean, I'm not trying to defend Uber by any means.
No, we never, we rarely, I'd say rarely ever defend either of them. But yeah, there could be difference. But if it's if it's $3, $4, $5, something like that. I mean, that's something's going on there.
Yeah, especially the Lyft stuff. The weird thing is, even if the phones are right next to each other, the weird thing is that the, what do they call it? Not the bonus, but maybe it was called it's like their turbo, whatever that was. That one driver wasn't getting, the other one was, but they were in the same area. That's a little weird. You know what I mean?
They were saying that in a little part of the clip, like one person seeing a $1 surge, but nobody else is seeing that. That's strange.
And if all the phones are right next to each other, that I would be interested in. I can see the drift, but I mean, if you're in a surge block and all those phones are there, why isn't every phone getting that surge?
Exactly.
But what are we gonna do about it?
Same thing we always do. Get on here and bitch and moan. I mean, what else can we do? Yeah, because a lot of that stuff's so hard to prove or to figure out. And even if you do, I mean, the average driver, what's your choice?
Yeah,
take it or go somewhere else.
Well, yeah, or get a class action lawsuit together. But like, who's got the time to like put on all that? I mean, the video is well done. I recommend you go look at it. I can't remember what I feel bad when I rip it and then I don't. Who was it done by? Let me see this. Anyways, More Perfect Union. It was posted under. It's got 10,000 comments, so a lot of people are talking about it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but
it is, and as we talked about before, any of this stuff we talk about, drivers seeing less than somebody else, we don't put it past these companies to do whatever they can to shade things to their advantage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they just will.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. They're a business. They're not looking out for the drivers. I think early on they were because they needed us, but now they have so many of us. It's not a big thing anymore, and so you gotta look out for yourself. But again, there's really not much we can do other than like really stop driving and look at something else. But they're all out for themselves, so.
Sure.
You just got to find the company that seems to pay you the best and go with that.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Amazon Flex, or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Exactly.
Josh, back to your original comment about 8 minutes ago. Yes, I do use Flex Alert for that, but it's still really tough sometimes to get routes because people are quick on the finger, and then there's also bots. Although, that being said, I think Amazon's cleaned out quite a bit of the bots because for whatever reason, our prices have gone up probably 25, 30%. No one knows why. It's just random. And it's been consistent for a couple of weeks. Now, who knows? The Amazon algorithm, no one can figure out. And then next week, they might be shitty. So I don't even know. But Gary's app, that Flex Alert app, works really well. So you don't have to tap the screen 17,000 times in an hour.
That finger cramp going.
Oh, yeah. Carpal tunnel. Can I claim that?
Yep. Exactly. That's workman's comp right there.
Yeah, but I'm 1099, so I'm going to have to pay.
Coming yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pay for it myself. Uber to launch rider verification and record my ride. Is this something new?
They've been testing this.
Okay.
They've been testing this in certain markets, like they do so many things. This is part of their big push. We'll be talking about a couple of different things that they're doing before the night's over, but it's all part of their doing more safety wise and more for the drivers and passengers, trying to make everything safe. So this rider verification, like I said, they were testing in a few markets, and what it is, when someone logs into their Uber app, and supposedly it started today nationwide.
Okay.
They will use third-party databases to verify that you are who you say you are, or you can scan your ID or your driver's license or something and send it to them, and you'll get the blue check mark that we're all familiar with from different apps. And they're doing it, supposedly to improve the safety for drivers because, they know when someone orders a ride, they get to see our picture. They see what kind of car, what color car, they see our driver's license. They know our firstborn's name, they know a lot about us. And we get there and we're picking up, Big Daddy Sammy or, whoever. They can put up pretty much any kind of name. We've all seen the weird names that people put into some of the apps and stuff. So this is supposedly going to, stop that. And I saw when they made this announcement today, I was reading up a little bit on a different website today. Uber saying they've already kicked off, supposedly like 16,000 people off the app that for, not verifying or not using a real name.
Really?
I don't know if that's worldwide or United States or, they didn't really clarify that because that's not really a big number when you look at how many passengers they have. But it says the rider verification feature is going to go nationwide, as we said today, September 18th. It's going to enable drivers to see a new verified rider badge for riders who have uploaded an ID or had their account information checked against trusted third-party databases. So Uber's launching this in response to driver feedback saying they want to know more about the people who are getting in their car, which I'm very glad that they're doing this. I have to say there's a lot of things that they do and you're like, I don't know, that might help or not. This one, I really am glad that they're implementing this.
How so do you think it will make safety more? How, you know what I mean? I guess because you can track the person down if they do something, but are you going to deny somebody that A, doesn't have verified, or B, if they are verified, but it's their boyfriend getting in?
Yeah. There's no way to stop everything for sure. For sure. As we've talked about, but I think it just will close out or, force some people to put in who they really are. In the past, we've had people, like I said, had this you have no idea who it is getting in your car when it's a name like, Big Daddy or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in everything, but I think it's, it does move the needle a little bit.
Well, I think the honest people are going to do it regardless, and then it's the people that don't care that aren't going to do it. I just wonder how you feel like, and I agree with you, but I'm just wondering what your thoughts of how it's going to make you just generally feel better that person's verified, I guess.
Yeah, I think so more than anything. Like I said, I don't think it's necessarily going to stop anything. If you get somebody who's drunk, they don't care if they're verified or not. They're going to be an ass, and
True.
You're going to have to deal with them. So yeah, I don't think it's a huge thing. But I am glad. I don't know. I am glad they're doing it.
I wish they would say you don't get to ride without being verified. They should just make it mandatory.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to scan your license? I mean, we do it for a lot of stuff, and then do it one time and you're good to go, and we can all move on with life. And it probably helps them more than us, honestly, because it can track them down, like if they, have a bad credit card or, just anything shady that they've done. Right.
And then this article talks about the other feature, which we're both very much against. It's record my ride. I'm not against it, but I'm not using it.
Right.
But record my rides now available to drivers in all 50 states. Again, after a pilot program, it allows drivers to use their front-facing camera on their smartphone to record video and audio during trips. But the video is encrypted. The drivers can't look at it. It says every recording is encrypted and stored directly on drivers' devices, and nobody, not Uber, not riders, not drivers, can access it unless a driver chooses to send it in for review. We're so used to having our own dash cams and being in control of that's where I'm staying.
Yeah.
I would never use this one before. But they do say that going back to the verification, said they've been testing it in a handful of cities. Said in those pilot markets, the majority of riders are verified, and they tend to give drivers 5 stars more often. Riders who are verified also get fewer serious complaints from drivers. So.
Makes sense. So, just like I said, the honest people are going to verify the ones that are douche canoes.
And I'm going to dig a little deeper on it too, because I want to see if what they're going to do if people don't upload the your ID. It says, well, then they will still use these third-party databases to try to verify you.
Oh,
and if they can't, I want to find out what happens if they can't. With that, are they going to make you upload your ID, or are you just not going to have the check mark?
I just think they won't, because I know why they're not doing it, because people will revolt and say, no, I'm not doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll go to Lyft, or I'll figure something else out, and they don't want to lose that customer.
Right.
It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they should look at it as like, yeah, you don't have to upload your ID for, I don't know. I don't have a good example, but going to McDonald's, but this isn't like a person to person kind of thing.
Right. It's a very, close setting. You have to scan your ID or show your ID to get a bottle of booze.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is much, this is, like I said, you're in this contained space. Sometimes it's for a long ride.
Right.
It's just, it can be a volatile situation. And so, I think it's a good idea that, I wish they would make them.
I think there would be less incidents if they would make them, and then I would just stop taking people without it. Like if they got in and they're not Larry, I'd be like, sorry, I'm not taking you. You know what I mean? You have to be a verified user on the app, and
right.
I mean, I'm not going to go to the point of asking for ID, but if the account is Larry verified and Susie gets in, I'd be like, no thanks, no thanks. I mean, there's another ride right around the corner. It's not like it would be losing a lot of money, but
yeah. Well, see that's the way y'all have it in a bigger market. True. Not so much around here sometimes. So if I don't take somebody, if it's not a particularly busy weekend for something, I might be waiting for a while.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but you can always go on another app or
that's
but
true.
I mean,
turn on food delivery.
Yeah, I mean, for a while. Yeah. But are you gonna fight? I mean, if it's a $5 fare, I don't know. It's all stupid. But
yeah,
I think
it's all circumstantial too.
Yeah. It totally is. Even
if it's during the day and it's somebody named Susie, I'm probably going to take them.
Yeah.
If it's 3 a.m. and it's a dark part of wrong side of the tracks, then maybe not.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, let's see. Oh, I thought this was funny. We see more. You see more and more of this stupid shit.
Yeah.
Basically, it says, boy, Columbus is not for the weak. How do you go and pick up my DoorDash order and then go get an oil change with my damn food in the car and act like this shit is normal? What the F? It says, the guy they're messaging says, waiting on them to finish this oil change on your car. So it's just ridiculous on how some of these people do that stuff when they're door dashing. I've definitely gone through the car wash when after I've accepted either a food order or like a ride share. I'm like, I'm driving by, I need to get a wash, but I've never like
an oil change. Yeah.
Especially no, it doesn't say in that picture if the food was in the car or they were like on their way to get it. Although DoorDash
either way it's setting.
Well, either way, but DoorDash is strict. If you sit for a while, they're like, hey bro, you got about 1 minute to
they'll yell at you
to keep moving. I remember, and I don't know if Uber does this now, but back in the day, Uber didn't give a shit. You could like take a second Uber order, go do all your other stuff, and then go do your Uber, and they wouldn't care. But they may be a little bit more strict about it now. Yeah. But
you know that top-notch support they have. As Steve was saying, he said, fact, DoorDash support agent thought I lived in the country of Colorado.
Well, they are kind of their own country. I heard that they want to like secede from the union and be their own country like Texas. So
well, they might.
I just made that up. That's not true.
Well, it's okay. That's how rumors get started. We're good at that.
Yeah, we are great at that. And the Rocket game.
And the Rocket Man.
Coming up, this is what we're talking about. Amazon Flex is cracking down on fake IDs.
Yeah, so this statement that Amazon Flex put out says, we've updated our check-in policy. We wanted to let you know that we recently updated our check-in policy. Amazon and third-party affiliates reserve the right to conduct random audits of IDs in addition to other check-in procedures, confirming your identity or your route assignment. Identity verification can happen at any time when arriving to check in for a block, picking up packages from an Amazon station or third-party site, or returning to a station or site. In these instances, a valid photo ID will be asked for to verify your identity. Valid photo IDs are official driver's license in all countries. Digital photos, screenshots, photocopies, or IDs without a photo are not considered valid photo IDs. If you're not able to provide your valid photo ID, you will not be allowed to complete check-in and will forfeit your block. Your standing and eligibility to deliver with Amazon Flex will be impacted. Yeah. Thank you for delivering with Amazon Flex.
See, real quick. So see how the color is up there? Like it's like the Amazon color. All the stuff on the app is orange.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like this color scheme. I don't know why they don't.
Oh, the blue? Yeah.
Yeah. But if you go on the Amazon Flex app, everything's orange.
It is. And white. Yeah, it's very orange.
Yeah. So I really like that they're doing this. And I know Gabe had maybe a couple of weeks ago brought in I don't know if it was a photo or if it was he lost his license and maybe it was a paper copy, but yeah, same as our Blue Vest gig in the Great North. But I think that's fine because he had his old license and then he was waiting for the new one. You know how they clip the corner of it. But yeah, I hope this helps deter people being scammy. But all depends on the warehouses. Like there's a warehouse by us that I'll go there 1 week and we're doing the safety like they usually do in it. Everyone out, everyone in at the same time. You know, they don't let people just walk around, which is how it should be. But then the next week, everyone's just fucking getting out of their car, going up to get, you know, it's like, I never know. It's like,
it all depends on who's the manager that day.
Well, yeah, it's like a crazy ex-wife or something. Like you never know what mood she's in that day, and you know, and it's just crazy. But the other warehouse is pretty strict. They do the same thing every time. So I don't know if the same thing will apply here. You know, a lot of those guys are chummy with the Amazon workers and being like, you know, they see them every day and they're friends. Will they let them get by? I don't know. But you know, because they really don't look at your picture. They just grab your license and scan the back. So it could be somebody else doing that. And I think they're at risk by doing that. I don't remember. Does Flex do a background check? I bet they've gotta, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. So it's the same principle or applies with Uber driving. Do you really want someone else driving around that's not been background checked? Again, it's a weak background check, but at least it's something.
Sure.
So hopefully this will clean up a lot of the people being scammy on that. But I know people that have tried to use their license and maybe they have worked. I mean, if you got a screenshot of it, all they need is the barcode, right? But you still need to have a valid driver's license.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Uber continues to invest in features for driver safety. This is a very short article. Sometimes these sites, you think it's going to be like really big, but it packs a punch. So
yeah, and I think all these came out of the same kind of announcement.
Okay.
About the record my ride and the verification, and then what we're talking about now.
Yeah, CEO Dara said we're continuing to invest in new features to help drivers feel safe when driving on an Uber trip. Trip navigation on Tesla displays. Drivers and couriers with Teslas can now connect their car's display to the Uber app for a seamless driving experience. Once a trip or delivery is accepted, the route information will automatically be sent to their Tesla display, making turn-by-turn navigation easier and safer to follow. Hands-free prompts. Now drivers using iOS can use Siri to customize voice prompt shortcuts in the app, such as calling a rider, going online, and more, totally hands-free. That's pretty cool.
I like that. I do like that. We've talked for years about why can't they do some hands-free stuff?
Yeah.
I wish it'd be hands-free where you can accept a ride or decline a ride.
Or even use your buttons. On my car, I listen to a lot of podcasts, obviously, and I have a 30-second skip, which kind of changes the radio channel if you're listening to the radio. But why couldn't you connect it somehow with that? I mean, it's all software, right?
Yeah.
So it does the same thing, but yeah, that's cool. Riders will need to provide the PIN to the driver before the trip can start. Guest riders, pickups can be stressful and confusing when the rider is different from the person who requested the ride. Well, that shouldn't be. We just talked about that. To make this easier, even if the guest doesn't have the app, drivers will be able to communicate with them directly via phone and in-app messaging. So I would like to see. So my car has CarPlay.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously I have iOS, and it works for Android too, but it's just a different software.
Yeah.
I would like to see more interaction with that. I mean, if I could get the Flex on my big ass screen in my car, like the direct,
nice.
It would be really nice. And I know I can put all the addresses in it, but that's fucking nuts. It would take me. Miguel, it would take me so long to put all those addresses in, but God, I would love that to be able to, even to, and maybe people out there I use an Android phone, so maybe you can already screen it. So like when I put it, if I'm going to a business and I put it on my phone, it will pull it up on my car, but I don't know if Amazon does that for Android. What do they call it? CarPlay. Maybe it's just CarPlay for both of them. If anyone's listening, I'd be curious because I've never connected my Android phone, so maybe I can still get it on the big screen.
Test it out.
Well, the problem is you gotta you walk away from your car, like you don't like Uber. You stay in the car, you know what I mean, so it stays connected because it's wireless connectivity.
Yeah,
I should try that to see because I mean the problem is sometimes as we get older, those maps are a little small. I mean, I want to see it on the biggest screen I can, so I should test that out. But it would be nice if there was integration with CarPlay where there's actually because. No, I don't think it does because CarPlay has to have the app in CarPlay. So CarPlay is like its own. Only certain apps work with it. So Google Maps obviously works with it. Waze, Sirius Satellite. What else? One of my podcast apps works. So I bet it wouldn't work with Amazon. But anyways, short story long. That would be tits, so that I didn't have to look at a small screen. But yeah, and I think it'd be safer the more you can integrate those shortcuts and things like that.
For sure.
So,
and also, you did mention in here in the PIN verification, and I noticed it in my app a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how long it's been in there, but I can turn it on. And if I turn it on, then all my riders, will have to.
Oh,
give me
really?
a pin. Yes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can turn it on. So that was.
See, it says in here, in addition, drivers will now be able to turn on PIN verification to confirm they're picking up the correct riders. Riders will need to provide the PIN to the driver before the trip can start.
Okay, so
if you're having trouble with people trying to steal rides, something like that. So
that's pretty nice, because then if you really want to be strict about verifying, that's the way to do it. If they don't have it, then sorry, this is for my safety.
Yeah, because usually now I'll get, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 a week that have to, that I have to put the pin in. And I guess that's what maybe they've turned it, either they've turned it on or Uber's turned it on, because there's been some funny stuff with their account.
Yeah, that's why I thought the only way you could use it. I didn't think you were able to.
Well, this is new. Yeah, this is new.
Did you know when that was supposed to drop? Not that I'm running out to do any Uber rides. I know it didn't say in the article that I had, because it was.
Yeah, no, I do not know when that's supposed to drop. Like I said, it's been available in mine for at least a month.
Okay.
But we could have been a test market.
Well, it's kind of nice then, because then the driver, if they want to be strict about it, they're like, if you don't have the PIN, you don't get a ride, because I don't know who you are, and I would say it may cause some issues, but when people finally, if everyone kind of sticks to their guns with it, eventually it'll get better.
If I worked in a really big, city where it's busy, I would probably have that turned on.
Yeah. Because then there wouldn't be no people just sliding in, you know what I mean? Or someone that you didn't know. So that's cool. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they gave the power to the driver.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Instead of just like, well, you're doing this, you don't have a choice. You're like, you can turn this on if you want. And you could even turn it on for the nighttime and turn it off.
Yeah,
for
during
the daytime if you didn't want to.
Yeah, just turn it on when it's the real busy times.
For sure.
Yep.
Alrighty, moving on. Octopus tablet. Nope, that's not it. Octopus tablet. Check it out. It's a tablet you can have for your riders, as we're talking a lot of rideshare tonight, and Amazon Flex, but mostly rideshare. You go to their site, Octopus tablet. Use our link, of course, for God's sakes. And you can get a tablet free, charger, case, the whole 9 yards, mounted to the back of your seat there. You can play trivia, sports updates, so on and so forth. I still have mine, even though I'm not doing rideshare. I just every month it says, "Hey, your account's about ready to go online," and I just say, "Put away for another month," and put it away for another month, because I don't know when I'm going to go back to rideshare. I mean, who knows if it's tough to get an Amazon Flex route, or who knows. But anyways, the link is in the description. It's free money. You can earn up to about $100 per month if you're a full-time driver. I know Frank over the weekend, who came to the picnic, said that Octopus had to send him a $10 or what was anything over $600. So he's clearly made over $600. Now he's a full-time driver, but you make money on referrals and all that stuff. And they do a bunch of giveaways, which is completely awesome. Really cool. So check them out. Like I said, link is in the description.
Yeah.
All right. Uber, to provide more clarity on rider fares, introduced a driver app redesign.
Yeah. So this, like I said, this is all coming out of this one press conference I think that Dara did. So drivers deserve to have a better understanding of the earnings. So we're adding an in-app feature to make it crystal clear where every dollar a rider pays is going on a weekly basis. Uber's portion has stayed relatively flat over the years, but some drivers may not realize that a growing piece of the pie is going towards local government taxes and fees, as well as the cost of commercial auto insurance. So with the first app redesign since 2018, we're making the app an easier day-to-day experience, introducing the driver app redesign. We're excited to redesign the look and feel of the Uber driver app to make the everyday experiences of drivers and couriers more seamless. Over the coming weeks, they'll start to see significant updates to make it easier to plan ahead, accept the trips they want, and track their progress. This includes revamping the home screen so drivers and couriers will now have a clear guidance on whether now is a good time to go online. Plus, key sections of the app, such as earning and inbox, are now just a tap away. So this is their first big redesign of the app since 2018.
Really? Have they pushed it out yet?
No. I think it's coming.
Okay.
It didn't say. It doesn't say when exactly. I think it just says over the coming months, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the coming weeks, it says they'll start to see significant updates. So over the coming weeks.
Yeah, I'm like, what could they change that's so, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, and then it just popped up, and I was looking at my app earlier tonight. One of those messages comes in your inbox. It's talking about, this morning in Washington, D.C., we announced more than 20 new app features designed with focus on safety, fairness, and ease of use. So enhanced rider verification, which we've talked about. Another one says keep riders accountable, and I like this one as well. Something Lyft's been doing for a long time. It says we've been marketing or piloting an option where you can block riders if you rated them, 1, 2, or 3 stars. You don't have to contact Uber.
Oh, wow.
You just rate them 1, 2, or 3. You'll never be paired with them again. Lyft's been doing that for a long time. Again, it says an improved app experience. Over the coming months, you can expect to see more updates. So this one says over the coming months.
Yeah.
So I guess over the weeks and months ahead, we'll start to see, what it's going to look like, and hopefully it'll be good. You never know. Sometimes, I saw Steve's comment, but sometimes they do these designs, and we're like, why'd they screw with it? But then sometimes they've done some changes, and you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah. Steve says, watch soon they'll charge drivers $5 each for each app update. Oh yeah,
I'm sure it's worth it.
But by 2030, we're going to be paying them to go on their platform. It'll be some sort of subscription fee or whatever. I mean, if you give me all the if you give me all the money, I'll gladly pay $100 a month subscription fee. If you give me all the money,
yeah,
like if it's all mine, go ahead, take my $100.
Big if.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even if let's say, even if it doubled, even if your money doubled, would you do the $100 a month?
If my money doubled?
So if you were making, if you normally made 100 on 10 rides, you're making 200. Although that wouldn't make sense. Well, that would be per night. But yeah, I'm just saying, if we had more money, I mean, I would definitely do it. Even if they were skimming off the top still, I'd still be like, well, I'm making more money. Who gives a shit?
That's what it's all about, the bottom line.
Yeah,
how much we're making.
We love doing the gig work, but we're out there to make money. I mean, if there was no gig work, I wouldn't be out like, I don't know, just fucking running around downtown.
I'd pay $1,000 a month if I'm making $10,000 a month.
Well, of course, yeah, exactly. But that's why, I mean, some people shit on the subscription model, but like I look at it like I think it's a good idea. But the problem is some of these companies, they're so small, it's not going to be worth the subscription money.
Yeah, it's that chicken and the egg. You got, in order to have riders, you have to have drivers to drive them.
Yeah.
But in order to attract the drivers, you got to have riders out there to take rides. So it's hard to get that momentum built up.
I really wish there would have been, and if there is one out there, please let me know. I know there was the show that they did on Showtime about Uber, but I would really like, well, they're not gonna give their secrets away. I guess the company would. I'd just be curious how they were able to do the chicken and the egg thing. How were they able to get a lot of drivers? I mean, and get a lot of riders where it kind of started balancing out. I don't know. When I came on to Uber, and same with you, it was kind of already a thing. So I'd just be curious what they did.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had so much money.
Yeah.
Seed money. I mean, I'm sure that they just blitzed social media, advertising. I'm sure they did a lot of business. Because it started out kind of focused toward business people.
Yeah.
When it first started out. So I'm sure they made a lot of deals with, these major companies to transport their employees. And they subsidized the rides to make them cheap. They were losing money on each ride for a long time.
Well, money does a lot. As I tell people, they're like, what's the secret to podcasting? I'm like, there's no secret. If you have $10,000, spend half of it on advertising, and that will do you just fine. You know what I mean? If you got 10 grand, 5,000 on advertising, couple thousand on editing, so on and so forth. But that's where it boils down to, is just the advertising, and that's clearly what they did. And like Steve said, free rides too. So
subsidized
for sure. Ride. So, all right. So that was, I've got one more article, then a video, which will probably get us demonetized, but I want to play it anyways. Looks like AMC, which the reason I pulled this one is I'm like, AMC Theaters partners with DoorDash.
Oh, I know. When I saw this, and I was like, "This is weird."
This
That's
is
why
so
I sent
weird.
it to you, because I thought it was like, "This is weird."
Yeah, because normally it's like whatever, okay, they part with somebody else, but
yeah, restaurants and
Right. So that-
groceries, but
the new agreement between AMC and DoorDash ensures guests wanting AMC menu items can now have them conveniently delivered via DoorDash from 48 AMC dine-in locations directly to their home. Popular home delivery items include AMC's Perfectly popcorn nachos, even Icy's, the company says. Other items include loaded bacon fries and tots, fried mozzarella, chicken wings, chicken tenders, pizza, so on and so forth. Uber Eats currently delivers AMC food from the AMC theaters that offers its feature fare menu items. Over the next few months, DoorDash will expand to all AMC USA locations as well. So, I mean, I guess the weird part of it is like, is their food that good? Like, do you go to a movie? I mean, I go for popcorn. Like, I don't really
the popcorn is good, but I mean, we all know. I mean, it's so outrageous. So I guess you can get the whole theater experience but at home. You can watch the movie at home in the comfort of your own home, but you can still pay $14 for a Coke and $12 for a 25 cents worth of popcorn. And yeah, I don't know. I think these theaters are. They're the ones where you can go in and you can, actually order dinner, I think, where you're eating.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff, which I did for the first time a few months ago up in St. Louis with my son. We went to a theater that does that and saw the Deadpool movie.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, the food was, it was okay. It wasn't anything I would have delivered home.
Yeah, it's just shocking to me that people would be like, "Oh my God, you know what I need tonight? That AMC chicken wings. I need to get those delivered." Like, who in their hell would say that?
Yeah, I don't know. Steve said, "Who doesn't sneak in candy and just buy popcorn?" Steve, 100%. I've snuck in popcorn. I've snuck in Cokes. I've snuck in lots of food.
Steve,
sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah, I just buy the popcorn. But see, and we do sneak in candy when we go for the family. But seriously, a large popcorn and 2 large drinks is $32.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, so you're still dropping $30.
Yeah, for sure.
But God, their popcorn is so good.
It is.
What?
It is. No, I said it is.
Oh, you kind of hesitated.
It is, but for the money, man.
No, it's not for the money. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Well, you're fucking trapped there. I mean, how do you sneak in popcorn? You can't really sneak in popcorn. A small bag, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you sticking it down your pants?
Well, I mean, like, wear a jacket, because sometimes theaters are cold. So you got get one with deep pockets.
Nah, to me, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna buy the popcorn. That's what I'm there for.
And see, that was the thing. I mean, we were pretty poor growing up, but my mom, she was firm believer. If it was not a movie, if you didn't have Coke and popcorn,
right?
You might as well not go. If you're not going to Coke and popcorn, then just stay home.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Around here we have Wesco stations. It's a gas station. They got the best fucking popcorn. It's better than movie theater. People seriously. You can buy a bucket at the beginning of the season, the summer season in the spring, and once you buy it, you go in there, they refill it all year. So damn good. And they just got a Wesco here in Hudsonville, which is
they refill it for free?
Yeah, or it's super cheap, something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's already cheap. A large popcorn is like $2.50, and it's like a giant bag.
Really?
And they cook it right there. Like,
why don't you tell us about this weekend while we're up there?
Like, when you walk in, if they just are popping it, it's the whole gas station smells like popcorn.
I gotta wait a whole nother year now to try this. Gosh dang!
It's so good, dude. It's so freaking good.
I thought you were my friend.
Anyways, if you're interested, we have one AMC theater in our area. It used to be something else, but AMC bought them. But
Regal. Ours are Regal.
Oh, Regal.
Yeah.
Most of our theaters around here are Celebration Cinema, which is owned by John Lokes, which is a local guy here that started them. And they're all over Michigan. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm not a huge movie guy. Like, if I want,
not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore. It's so expensive now, and it's going to be on on your home screen in a month.
Yeah, a couple months. Yeah, my kids. really the only stuff I've watched with my kiddos is just kid movies. They really want to see it in the theater. So I'm like, all right, I'll go. You know what I mean? But I prefer to be in my house watching it.
Yeah. I mean, there is so much to be said, especially now, everybody's got the big screen TVs, it's much different than when we were a kid watching it on a little 13-inch screen.
Yeah.
And you can pause it, go use the bathroom. You can make a sandwich. You don't pay an arm and a leg for the food. Yeah. It's just it has to be, there's some movies you're like, like you said, that would look cool on the big screen, but few and far between that I'm willing to go.
Right.
Pay that.
So go back. Gigan was a little behind because he was checking in for his block. Yeah, but what if you don't have a Tesla? Like, why are they pushing all this tech with this Tesla? It fucking annoys me. Like, I do like Tesla
because they want us all driving electric cars,
I guess. But I have an electric car. GD it. Like, I just don't have a Tesla. Like, I don't know. I like the Teslas. I don't really have anything against them. I'm like, I think they're fine cars. Except the Cybertruck. The thing's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It's a piece of shit.
The wood panel is
damn it, I deleted that out of the thing. I should have kept it up because anytime it comes up, we should show it. I should.
That's right.
I'm down.
My wife hates those with a passion.
Here we go. I got it. On demand. You say it and you shall get it. There you go. Look at that thing.
Is that not beautiful?
Oh my God. It just gives me chills below my waistline. But yeah, I'm annoyed that they don't have more features. Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Uber and Tesla are in business together somewhere.
They do. It seems like they focus on that quite a bit because you're like, there's a lot of other electric vehicles besides the Tesla.
Yeah, there's so many more. There's more other than you got the Kia, you got the Nissan Leaf, you got Rivian, although we can't afford a Rivian, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest.
I mean, we're more likely to buy a Tesla than a Rivian. Those things are like $100,000. Yeah. This is Steve, the family truckster. If you know the family truckster. Man, that when they were out getting that fucking tree in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, you've seen that, right?
Oh yes.
Oh God, we bought it, and man, he cuts down. Dad, you bring a saw? Doing. Anyways. Hey, Rideshare Road Warrior Rick. That's hard to say. Rideshare Road Warrior Rick.
Triple R.
Say that 5 times. But anyways, so we're going to watch this video. It says, it's a comedian says, Uber driver stopped in the middle of the freeway, and then that'll be all she wrote.
Almost died in an Uber this year. I got in, and he goes, "You're going home?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to the Crocodile Cafe." And he goes, "You're going home." And I was gonna correct him, but I'm like, why? I don't care if he thinks I live there. And then he pulls out and his phone starts yelling directions at him in a language I've never heard in my entire life. And I'm like, I don't need to understand that. As long as you understand whatever the hell that's saying, and it's taking us to the Crocodile Cafe / my house, we're good to go. And then we're on the freeway, and I just feel like we stopped. 1 a.m, in the middle of the 5 South, right before you hit downtown, doing 0 miles an hour. And he's pointing at his phone, and there was a fork in the road. And he's like, I don't, you gotta make that decision doing 70. That's a call you make on the run. Pick one. Even if you pick the wrong one, it's all right. We'll get a second chance. You know how we won't get a second chance? If we get plowed into from behind because you're doing 0 miles an hour on the interstate. It's not going to be a fun accident. We're not going to high-five and exchange information. There will be a fire. I should have just driven drunk. And I know that's wrong. But I don't care how drunk I was that night. I wasn't drunk enough to stop on the freeway. I might have hugged another lane a little bit, but I wouldn't have brought it to 0 miles an hour. Everybody stop. There's a fork in the road. We're not going anywhere till we figure this out.
God, the amount of comedy that's come from Uber driving.
Oh yeah, is
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm having post-traumatic stress syndrome though. You start talking about stopping on the interstate and getting hit from behind.
Jeez,
it was a year ago.
Truthfully, do you still have a little
Oh
Like,
yeah. No, when people get too close to me in the back, I am very squirrely.
Or if you have to lock it up and you have to look in your mirror and you're like, oh shit, is this going to happen again?
Yes.
Man, that's crazy.
Yes.
Eventually it'll go away, but can you imagine somebody that's like got T-boned and lived, and then like every time they go through an intersection, they have to think about that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that video was messed up. We should always keep that on hand too. Oh no, I don't want to see that one. That made me feel bad because it's not a great video. I mean, it is because we know you're.
I've got it on my phone.
we know you're okay, but it was a little scary. So
it could have been much worse though.
Yeah, it definitely
very blessed. Very
definitely
blessed.
could have. So,
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for commenting. Giggin, I hope you get a good route. He did say it's a scrap route for the same day station, 7:30 pickup, only scheduled if they have returns that need to go back out. So that's interesting. So we just opened, I'm part of Amazon. They just opened a same day station for us too. The routes are always like 4-hour blocks for us, but that's interesting that only scheduled if they have returns. So you're guaranteed to go out then, must be. But you're just doing God, can you imagine all having to fucking drive so far and just for one package or return? I don't know, that'd be so crazy.
Wow. I just saw this comment by Steve. It was earlier. It said, did a 7.5 hour live stream today and made bank on curry. So
yeah, curry's 7.5 hours. Jesus Christ. You have no data left on your phone.
I'm gonna have to try curry again. I think I've done one curry.
Yeah, I've done. I get them quite a bit now, but the annoying thing about curry is they'll give me like somewhere in Indiana to it won't be close. Like the starting won't be close to me, and I'm like, well, why am I even receiving this? But
yeah, it's just like taking a passenger. I'll pick something up here and take it a long way, but I'm not going a long way to pick it up.
Well, it all depends.
They'll screw it up.
Well. Yeah, that's true. It all depends.
It's not going to be there.
Well, it all depends on the money. If I got to drive to pick up something in Kalamazoo and bring to Grand Rapids, if it's the same amount of miles, if the money's there, but you do roll the dice, you get there and they're like, oh, whoops, we made a mistake. We don't need this today. And you're like,
or somebody else picked that up. Or
So you do roll the dice if you do that. But anyways.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely want to say thanks to everybody who came for the picnic. We appreciate it. We had a blast. Again, it's one of my favorite weekends of the year. Really love getting to hang out with everybody.
Yeah, it was good. I had a Red Bull. First time I had an energy drink in like a month.
And you could tell it'd been the first time in a long time. Jason was wired.
You don't realize, you drink a Dr. Pepper and it's got some caffeine in it. It's like whatever. But I drank a Red Bull and I was just like, Jesus. I was like,
we were playing that Rocky game.
I wish I would have won more. It would have been much better high, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right, guys. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
We'll see you on the road.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.